After 2 years of playing the role of a fake identity and sleeping with my sworn enemy from a rival company, Peter, my most loyal subordinate, suddenly lost 2 years' worth of memory and stormed in with an entire team to rescue me. If you dare hide our boss's sweetheart, Sam, then Peter, you better be ready to die. Peter, who was away on a business trip, remained as unbothered as ever, completely indifferent to my disappearance. Just when I'd accepted that I was free to go wild, resigned and heartbroken, a cold blade, his antique punishment sword, pressed against my lower back from the shadows. Baby, I heard you want me dead? A month after Peter left me stranded at his remote beachside villa, Leonard, my fiercely loyal right-hand man, surrounded the entire estate with his troops. We stared each other down, me fuming with the urge to knock some sense into him. After years of clashing with Peter from the shadows, I'd never revealed my face to him. Now, on the verge of exposure thanks to my clueless subordinate, I had no choice but to fake fear and subtly signal Leonard to leave. But he wouldn't back down. I just had a damn accident and forgot the last 2 years. And you let Peter keep you locked up here like this? Wearing something this thin in the middle of nowhere, what if you catch a cold? You can't stay here. Peter's a monster for locking you up in a dump like this. Grinding my teeth, I snapped, Sir, I really have no idea what you're talking about. Leonard gave me a got it look. I see your identity. I shot him a glare sharp enough to slice, but several of his bodyguards swooped in and shielded me like I was some fragile damsel. I had to switch gears fast, play the role of a wide-eyed, naive little sweetheart. You've got the wrong person. My name is Sam, and I belong to Mr. Jackson. Leonard blinked, then exaggeratedly raised his voice. Right, Sam? I didn't make a mistake. If you dare hide our boss's precious Sam, Peter, just wait till he gets here to kill you. Me? While a herd of metaphorical stampeding horses trampled through my mind, Leonard whisked me away with all his men in tow. Far enough from the villa, I flipped Leonard over my shoulder and slammed him into the ground. Have you been snorting salt for fun lately? Got a death wish? Boss, hear me out. I had an accident and lost my memory. I was looking everywhere for you, until one of our guys saw Peter making you kneel outside his villa all night. I couldn't just let that slide. I had to get you out. Yes. I remember that night. Fed up with everything, I hid Peter's sword, the one he used for punishments. He punished me by banning me from his room for a month. Out of spite, I knelt at his door all night, hoping he'd feel bad. But Peter just left for a month-long business trip without batting an eye. Even now, I'd been gone for over half a day and the bastard hadn't made a sound. The phone that only had his number saved? Quiet as a grave. I gave a bitter smile. Makes sense. 2 years, and I still couldn't melt that stone-cold heart. Better to walk away than keep being his bedtime toy. I helped Leonard up, clapped his shoulder and said, Alright, your boss is back. Now get me some obedient foot soldiers. I'm ready to have some fun. And by fun, I meant stealing the port project Peter had his eye on. After 2 years under his roof, I couldn't walk away without getting a few things done. I had always operated under Leonard's name, pulling the strings behind the curtain. While Leonard negotiated with a second-gen heir from the Scott family, I played around with a soft, eager-to-please new bartender. This soft boy was an absolute delight, far better than that emotionally constipated bastard Peter. I was pinching the soft boy's cheek when a waiter interrupted with a drink. Sir, your cocktail. Leonard scowled. Wrong table. We got all our drinks already. I barely glanced up, still focused on getting a little frisky, when the waiter gestured across the room. It's from that gentleman. Said you'd like it. I turned and saw a familiar silhouette cloaked in shadow. Peter, lifting his glass in our direction with that faint, mocking smile. My entire spine shivered as if an electric current shot through it. I pushed the soft boy away without thinking. Even after running this far from Haiching, this bastard still found me. I plastered on a fake smile. Mr. Jackson. What a coincidence. Peter's smirk faded as he calmly sipped his drink. No reply. Leonard excused himself from the Scott family rep and stormed over. Peter, you damn ghost. Haven't you caused enough trouble? You still dare touch our boss's treasure? Looking to die. Peter set his glass down slowly, glancing at the people behind Leonard. Didn't know Sam belonged to Brian. Guess I owe an apology. His eyes twinkled with a cruel glint. After all, Sam always gets a little wild with this drink. I bet Brian appreciates the favor. My fake smile froze on my lips. Leonard flushed red, furious but helpless. Brian's not a freak like you. Peter chuckled darkly. Oh, with a toy like Sam, it'd be a waste not to enjoy properly. Peter never looked at me again before he left. I shoved the soft boy away, crushed my phone, the one he gave me, his only gift over 2 years. My heart cracked open, piece by piece. Peter and I had been secret rivals for years. I'd snatch a project, he'd steal a plot of land. He'd built an empire from nothing, now ruled half of Haicheng. And me? I was the illegitimate son of the prestigious Smith family. I clawed my way to the top, but Grandpa never let me show my face. To the public, Brian Smith didn't exist. Then came the accident that tossed me onto Peter's private beach. He took me in, gave me everything, clothes, food, shelter. I kept my identity hidden, exchanged intel with my crew, and played the role of a dumb pretty boy. Whenever I flirted with his staff, drivers, bodyguards, Peter's aura would dip colder and darker. Eventually, I realized something. My longtime enemy, like me like that. I mocked him but teased him anyway. Mr. Jackson, from now on I won't look at anyone else. Just you. And somehow, I fell for him. But no matter how close we got in bed, I never made it into his heart. 2 years of a relationship with no name. It all ended thanks to a subordinate who forgot the last 2 years. Not that it would have lasted. I was just a nighttime distraction. Even his broken sword meant more to him than I did. He handed me over. Even taught others how to play with me. Bravo, Peter. Really creative of you. But I wasn't about to cry and crawl back. Without that bastard, I could finally live freely. I reclaimed the name Brian and dove back into the battlefield. Just when I was tightening the screws on Peter in a high-stakes corporate war, bad news hit. That port I'd just snatched? Peter had already taken it back. And as my trembling subordinates knelt before me, I felt rage boiling to the surface. What's going on? Young master, it's like this. Peter's getting engaged to the daughter of the Scott family. Naturally, their port will fall into his hands. A chill ran down my spine. When did this happen? How did no one catch wind of it? He's been pursuing Julie for the past 6 months. Just recently, she agreed. Originally, Mr. Williams was going to inform you, but, he got into a car accident before he had the chance. No wonder Peter had been growing colder toward me. 6 months, he'd been planning this for 6 months. Peter, you really are something. Gorging on what's in your bowl while still licking what's in the pot, leaving nothing to waste. When's the engagement ceremony? Next week. On Peter's private beach. It's a small event, just close friends and family. Will you be attending, sir? Why would I go? Seeing his face is enough to ruin my day. Though I wouldn't mind sending him a special gift that day. You're the best, sir. So, should I toss this invitation? What invitation? Peter sent you one. A formal engagement invite, personally asking for your presence. Peter must have had his head slammed in a door. He steals my port and still has the nerve to invite me to his engagement? What, did he think handing Sam over would make us all good again? Dream on. Since he wants to disgust me, I might as well return the favor. On the day of the engagement, I arrived with Leonard, dressed to kill. Of course, I went as Sam. Peter's smile froze the moment he saw me. I believe the invite was for Brian Smith. What are you doing here? Leonard stepped up, blocking me protectively. Our boss is busy. He sent me to bring Sam for a little fun. Don't worry, we didn't forget your gift. Mr. Jackson let out a humorless smile. Mr. Williams, enjoy yourselves. Peter's family was full of lookalikes. With a practiced smile, I began charming everyone indiscriminately. Left hand sampling cake from one cousin, right hand taking a napkin from another. Sipping wine offered by a younger uncle. Around me, Peter's relatives lined up for a turn to flirt. Murmurs spread through the crowd. So that's the canary Peter kept and Brian snatched back. No wonder Brian sent an entire team to raid Peter's home for him. Look at that face. Brian and Peter are at each other's throats now. Peter just took Brian's port last week, and today, Brian stole one of Peter's biggest clients. No wonder Peter looks like he's chewing nails, completely ignoring his stunning fiancée. Perfect. That was my wedding gift to Peter. Watching his face twist in fury with nowhere to vent made it impossible to hide my grin. Just then, someone held out a cherry, my favorite fruit. I bit down. The fingers holding the cherry didn't let go. A cold voice whispered close to my ear. Sam, does it taste good? Peter's slender fingers were still gently pushing the cherry against my lips. The people around us fell silent in terror. I forced myself to bite down on the cherry, and his fingers, with as much grace as I could muster. Peter didn't even flinch. He sneered. Aren't you worried? What if Brian finds out and kills you? Leonard rushed over, shoving me behind him. Peter, our boss treasures Sam. If anyone's getting killed, it'll be you. Oh, is Brian dead or crippled? I've been waiting. Why hasn't he shown up? How dare you? Brian's just low profile. You better watch your back. He'll end you sooner or later. Why are you picking on my fiancée during our engagement? Julie stepped in, clutching Peter's stiffened arm. She was beautiful. Peter looked like a carved god. Together, they were picture perfect. Too bad Peter started this mess. Don't blame me for making it worse. Julie, we weren't bullying him. He's the one always picking on me. Have you ever seen the antique sword Mr. Jackson bought 2 years ago? Julie blinked in confusion. What sword? Oh, you haven't? Lucky. Then you probably don't know Mr. Jackson has a rather nasty bedtime habit. Julie's eyes widened. I leaned in, lips twitching in triumph. He likes to press that sword against someone's lower back before bed, and force them to strip down and... Brian's people are airing my bedroom habits in public? Peter's icy gaze cut me off. Aren't you afraid Brian will be furious? I blinked innocently. Shouldn't you be the one afraid? After all, the person Brian wants dead the most is you. The party ended in spectacular disaster. Back home, after a shower and lights off, I was just about to lie down. Something cold pressed against my lower back. I knew that texture all too well. Peter's cursed sword. Even now, my body remembered the dread. Being pinned by that sword every night before bed. No kink was worth that kind of trauma. Then came his low, familiar voice. Baby, I heard you want me dead? My scalp went numb. How the hell did Peter get into my bedroom? Were all my guards taking a nap? Mr. Jackson, you've got the wrong guy. I'm not Brian. I'm Sam. Oh, then why are you in Brian's room? I took a deep breath, trying to steady my voice. I belong to Brian. Of course I'm in his room. That makes sense. But it's odd, isn't it? Brian's room, and yet you're the only one here. Hell no, you're the odd one, barging into my room with a damn sword. Brian's busy. He won't be back so soon. Doesn't seem like Brian takes very good care of his darling. The blade nudged in deeper. I shivered. God, I wanted to shatter that sword into dust, but this wasn't the time to blow my cover. Peter leaned closer, his voice silky, seductive. Why don't I take care of you instead? Sam? The sword lightly grazed across my lower back. I jolted and raised both hands in surrender. Mr. Jackson, you'd better leave while Brian's still out. I won't tell anyone you were here. I turned to look at him with wide, innocent eyes. His gaze was deep, unreadable. After all this time, you never missed me? His tone softened unexpectedly, almost gentle. I didn't know what angle he was working. He abandoned his gorgeous fiancée on engagement night to sneak into Brian's room. Just to reminisce with a guy he once used for sex? What was that supposed to mean? Julie wasn't enough for him? Mr. Jackson, I'm with Brian now. And you have a fiancée. Just leave. If you don't, I won't be so polite. But Peter didn't move. He just stared at me, unwavering, unblinking. Like he wanted to brand me into his soul. It was that look of his, like he was in love, even if he wasn't, that always got to me. I could never resist it, never hold firm in front of it. But I couldn't fall for it again. Not this time. I drew a slow breath. If I let things escalate here at the Smith estate, there would be headlines tomorrow for sure. Scandalous ones. It would reflect terribly on both our families. I needed him gone. Closing my eyes, I leaned forward and brushed my lips lightly against the corner of his mouth. Satisfied, Mr. Jackson? If you don't leave now and Brian finds you, I can't protect you. Peter froze. Seeing my chance, I stepped away, heading for the door. But before I could open it, he swept me off my feet with an arm around my waist and tossed me onto the carpet. Then came the kisses, rapid fire and relentless. I clenched my jaw, face burning red, holding back the urge to deck him. Then I didn't hold back. I karate chopped him across the neck and knocked him out cold. I wiped the blood from my bitten lip and, with Leonard's help, dragged Peter out of the house. Boss, seriously, what happened between you two? I forget 2 years and suddenly you and Peter are like this. Shut up. There's nothing going on. I was gathering intel. Then the thing just now? A fight. I cut him off before he could start connecting the wrong dots. Oh. Leonard eyed the bite marks, my red ears, and the busted lip with a knowing look. Let it slide. Barely. What about this sword, boss? I grit my teeth. Keep it. We dumped Peter back on his beachfront and made sure his staff found him. After that, nothing. No retaliation. No messages. Not even a whisper. I doubled my security, but I still had no idea how he got into my bedroom in the first place. A month later, Grandpa summoned me to the old house. He slammed a file down on the table. Your brother got caught in one of Peter's traps. He's locked up. They've offered one condition. My fists clenched. I understand, I said coldly. I'll send Sam back to him tomorrow. Sam? His eyes narrowed. He wants Sam, doesn't he? No. Grandpa cleared his throat, face solemn. He wants Brian to beg him. In person. Alone. I stood there, stunned, speechless. Grandpa, didn't you say I could never reveal my identity? If I show up, the Smith family scandal might explode, especially in front of Peter. Do you think that's what matters right now? Your brother's future is on the line. You're just going to stand by and watch him fall? Can I just not go? Brian, he said, voice turning ice cold, I could have left you to rot in that welfare home. But I brought you here, raised you, gave you everything. Do you feel no gratitude? I may be old, but I'm not dead. If I say the word, you'll be out of this family with nothing. I bit down hard. My nails dug into my palms. No matter how hard I worked, I would never measure up to that brainless brother. I got it, Grandpa. I'll go. I let my hands fall to my sides, swallowing the bitterness back down. I arrived alone, slinging a bag over my shoulder. Peter was sipping coffee at the rooftop bar of a hotel, backlit by the sky. When I stepped into view, he didn't look surprised. Or curious. He looked exactly as he always did, calm and unreadable. He put his cup down and raised a brow. I believe I said this very clearly. I want Brian to come beg me. Alone. You think we don't understand Mandarin or what? He's here. I cut him off, lowered my eyes, and pulled a box and a framed photo from my bag. Right here. Peter's jaw tightened. His eyes chilled over like a frozen lake. What is this? I sniffled and dabbed at imaginary tears. Brian's always had poor health. That's why he rarely goes out. Most things are handled by Mr. Williams. He just collapsed recently. To avoid tanking the stock price, we kept it under wraps. But since Mr. Jackson insisted on seeing Brian, I brought him. Peter stared at the memorial photo I generated using the Burley Smith family genes. He let out a scoff that was halfway to a laugh. This guy doesn't look sickly to me. Yeah, I know. I didn't inherit the Smith family's broad build. Too delicate. Too refined. So I photoshopped one based on how a real Smith heir should look. But, okay, maybe I overdid it. I rubbed my nose. That's his healthiest photo. Hence the glow. Peter gave a cold snort. Funny. I heard Brian's a genius in both brains and brawn. Can take 10 men by himself. Rumors. The one who can fight 10 is Mr. Williams. Peter's face iced over completely. Fine. Then Alex can rot in there. I panicked and grabbed his sleeve. Wait, didn't you say if Brian came, you'd let Alex go? I said he has to beg me. And tell me, his eyes glinted, can a corpse still beg? Goddamn it. You want a dead man to beg you? What, so you can die of fright? He can. I grit my teeth and pressed the box near Peter's ear. Listen. Hear that faint hum? Peter gave me a blank look and stood to leave. I lunged forward and wrapped my arms around his waist. He stiffened. I nuzzled into his neck and softened my voice. Mr. Jackson, please. I'll do anything you want. Peter used to fall for this. Boys. I edged up closer, just like last time, aiming for the corner of his mouth. But this time, he turned his head and dodged me. I stood frozen, stunned. Peter looked down at my hand clutching his coat, and pried off each finger. Coldly. Without a word. The force was absolute. Hanjo? What are you doing here? Julie, Peter's fiancée, strolled toward us. I smiled bitterly, the fight drained from me. So that's it. He just didn't want Julie to see. By the time she walked up to us, Peter had already peeled my fingers off him one by one. His cold expression faded, replaced by that ever-gentle mask of his. Just here to take care of something. Julie lit up. All done? Since we ran into each other, why don't you come over for dinner tonight? My dad's been asking me to invite you. Sure. Isn't this that Sam? Why are you here too? Julie looked between us, eyebrows rising. You too. Just bumped into each other. I cut in quickly before Peter could speak, before he could say the one thing I didn't want to hear. I slowly packed up the box, like I was stuffing my entire body inside it. Because right now, I didn't feel human. I felt like a ghost. Damn it. How did I let myself get this pathetic? Without another word, I zipped up my backpack and turned to leave. If that idiot little brother ends up stuck in jail, so be it. I'm done caring. Head low, I walked straight to the underground garage. Just as I was about to start the car, a rush of frantic footsteps echoed behind me. Watch out. It was Peter's voice. As I turned my head, a knife flew past, slicing the air right beside my face, leaving a searing cut in its wake. Before I could react, a group of armed thugs stormed into the garage from who knew where. Peter shielded Julie and rushed toward my car. Get in. I slammed the pedal as soon as they jumped in, tires screeching as we took off. Julie clung to Peter, face pale and terrified. In the rearview mirror, multiple cars were tailing us, close and tight. Shit. Were they after me? Peter? Or both of us? I weaved through traffic, heart pounding. Mr. Jackson, where the hell are your bodyguards? Peter pressed his lips tight, silent for a moment. Did you seriously come alone? Yeah. Didn't bring anyone today. Damn it. He insisted I come alone, and he actually followed his own rule? Who knew he could be this stupidly honest? Sam, can you slow down? I'm gonna throw up. Julie's face had gone green. She clutched her mouth. I tossed her a bag without turning my head. Can't. Wanna live? Sit still and be quiet. In the mirror, Peter's gaze narrowed, fixed hard on me. He was starting to suspect. But I didn't have time to care. If we didn't shake these guys, we were all dead. The cars flanking us from both sides forced me into a side road. Then several more vehicles pulled in ahead, completely blocking our escape. I locked the doors and stared through the windshield at the group of men climbing out with bats and blades. I'd already sent a message to Leonard, but he was in North City running errands. No way he'd get here in time. We had to stall, hold out until backup arrived. But the thugs weren't giving us a second to breathe. They charged at us with weapons raised. Julie screamed uncontrollably. I shut my eyes for a moment, then took a breath. Peter, I'll draw them off. You two run for it. Julie gasped, staring at me. You're gonna take them on. That's suicide. I smirked bitterly. Don't worry. I'm not dying that easily. Peter said nothing, his eyes cold as I opened the door. I grabbed my backpack, and the sword that had been hidden inside. Peter's sword. I'd meant to toss it. Couldn't bring myself to. Looks like it was finally going to be useful. Swinging my bag, I knocked down a few of them. Then raised the sword and glared at the rest. I'd always been the weak, sickly one in the Smith family. Bullied. Overlooked. So I trained in secret with Leonard, the bodyguard's kid. Pushed myself till I broke. Broke again. Until I was strong enough to fight like this. 10 men rushed me at once. I stepped aside, sweeping low to take out a few. Dodged a steel rod aimed at my head and met a blade strike with Peter's sword. The impact rattled my arms to the bone. Blood and sweat clung to me, indistinguishable. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Peter leading Julie away. They were getting out. The attackers weren't paying them much attention, so this was about me. They waited until Leonard was gone. Until I was alone. Just like the car accident 2 years ago. Their attacks slowed. They started talking. Didn't expect you to be so tough, Brian. Gotta respect that. But orders are orders. We can give you a clean end. Drop the sword and we'll make it painless. I grit my teeth, let out a low laugh. Wow. This many of you against one guy, and I'm the one embarrassing you. The taunt worked. They rushed me again, eyes bloodshot. I raised the sword to block, and it snapped in half. Shit. This damn decorative piece of junk. Thanks a lot, Peter. I gripped the broken blade, blood already pooling in my palm. I was in full fight mode now when a glint of silver streaked toward me from the left. A knife, fast and lethal. No time to dodge. I braced myself, arm raised to take the hit. But suddenly, someone slammed into me from behind. A grunt. The weight of a body collapsed against my back. My breath caught in my throat, the world freezing for a second. Peter. Wasn't he supposed to be escaping with Julie? Why the hell would he come back, for me? I stared at his hands, now soaked with blood. My blood or his, I didn't even know. His fingers trembled as they brushed the gash on my cheek. His lips moved, barely audible. I leaned in just to hear. Don't die. And then he went completely still. I clenched my eyes shut. Gently laying him aside, I turned back, just as the rest of the bastards closed in, blades drawn. I gripped the broken sword, a bitter smile tugging at the corner of my lips. You're all dead. By the time Leonard arrived, I was standing among the bodies, barely holding myself up with a stolen iron rod. Then, finally, my strength gave out, and I passed out cold. When I came to, someone was slumped beside my hospital bed, wrapped in bandages. Peter. He looked like he was having a restless sleep, brows furrowed tightly. His hand was clutching mine like he was afraid I'd disappear if he let go. I shifted slightly, trying not to wake him, but he stirred anyway. The moment his eyes opened, his grip loosened. Bloodshot eyes met mine, filled with emotions I couldn't decipher. I broke the silence first. How's your injury? Nothing serious. I stared at him intently. Why did you come back? You were about to get married. You were running off with your fiancé. So why did you turn around? Peter gave a half smile, half sneer. Why do you think Brian Smith? So he knew everything now. Mr. Jackson couldn't bear to leave me behind? He snorted. Don't flatter yourself. I just don't like owing people. With that, he stood stiffly and turned to leave. I grabbed his wrist. Sorry. I lied to you. He paused. Lied about what? I wasn't hiding my identity on purpose. I'm not allowed to expose it freely. What else? Please let my brother go. I'll do anything you want. Peter turned, fingers locking tight around my wrist. Anything. Just as long as Mr. Jackson agrees to my request. Fine. You said it, Brian. While Leonard was busy dealing with a dozen crises, Peter whisked me away back to his villa. The moment we arrived, he dismissed all the staff and bodyguards. Then, without a word, he pinned me against the floor-to-ceiling window, the dark, churning sea just beyond the glass. With skills like yours, Brian, if I hurt you, are you gonna beat me up? My breath hitched. My hands were pressed to the glass, cold and slick. "No, I won't hurt you." Peter chuckled softly. But I remember in your bedroom last time, I got hit in the neck." I clenched my teeth as my back met the frozen glass. My whole body shivered. "Mr. Jackson can get me back now." His breath fell hot against the back of my neck. Then something warm landed on my wound. "Does it hurt?" "No. And this?" "Still doesn't." Outside the window, the waves rose higher under the silver moon. Peter kept pushing. His voice turned lower, almost coaxing. "Be good. Say it hurts, and I'll be gentler." The waves slammed against the rocks like moonlight being shattered into dust. And I, stubborn as ever, smirked through the pain. "It doesn't hurt. Is that all you've got, Peter?" He paused behind me, like a beast catching its breath. Then in the dark, the tide turned violent. Each crashing wave colder and angrier than the last. Until all that was left was a voice, ragged and pale, breaking apart like foam on stone. 1 week later, Leonard finally snapped. He brought a whole squad of bodyguards and surrounded the villa. Still groggy with exhaustion, I heard him yelling from outside the window. "Peter, how long are you planning to lock up our boss?" I struggled to sit up under the sheets, every bone in my body about to fall apart. Damn it. Peter wasn't human. He was worse than those thugs from before. "You're awake." Peter's warm hand slid along the back of my neck. I flinched. "Mr. Jackson, I've got a lot to deal with. Can I go back for a bit?" He lowered his gaze. "Sure." The moment Leonard laid eyes on me, he looked like he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Boss, it's only been a week, and you look worse than after that time you fought off a dozen men." I shot him a murderous glare. Stupid subordinate. Always says the worst things at the worst times. "Let's go. There's work to do." "Oh, right." Leonard brightened, raising his voice. "Alex has been released. Old Master was so thrilled, he sent me to pick you up himself." I paused. "Released? Already? That was fast." I turned back, eyes complicated, toward Peter, who stood quietly behind. "My brother's situation." Peter gave a small nod. "Didn't have time to tell you. But I keep my word." So the deal was complete. That meant I was no longer needed. Damn it. Just a week and this bastard's already satisfied? Was that it? Well then, thank you, Mr. Jackson. I didn't dare look back at him again. I followed Leonard out of the villa. From now on, the bridge is a bridge. The road is a road. We walk our separate ways. I had no excuse to see him again. With my idiot brother safe, I no longer had to keep my identity a secret from Peter. Everything had gone smoothly, but I couldn't feel even a sliver of joy. I scrolled through paparazzi photos of Peter and Julie on their latest date, wanting to smash my phone into the wall. Then a call from Grandpa popped up. "Tomorrow night is the Scott family's banquet to thank us. You'll go in your brother's place." He flinches just hearing Peter's name now. "Peter will be there?" "What? You scared of him too?" "I just find him annoying." "Annoying or not, you're going. You lost the Scott family's port last time, make up for it. Julie and Peter aren't as close as they seem. Find proof. And if there's no proof? Then make something up. Got it, Brian?" I was quiet for a long time. "Understood, Grandpa." At the banquet, I kept one eye on Leonard, making sure he didn't start blabbing, and the other on Peter and Julie, who were clinking glasses side by side. Peter didn't spare me a single glance. But he was doting on Julie, attentive and polite. Not that close? How could they not be? They looked like they'd be upstairs in a hotel room any second. Damn it, how the hell am I supposed to find something? That old man really treats me like a dog. Fine, I'll play along while you're still breathing, but once you're gone, that idiot brother of mine is mine to toy with however I want. I was slightly drunk, the alcohol heating up my blood, when I saw Peter wandering off toward a shadowy corner alone. I told Leonard I was stepping out and quietly followed behind. Peter walked along the edge of the ballroom, disappearing into the wooded area behind the venue. He met with a young man, furtive, shady. What the hell, me and Julie weren't enough for him. Now there's another one? The man slipped Peter something, then leaned in to whisper. The moonlight was dim. I couldn't make out his face clearly, but he looked familiar. I snapped a quick photo of his profile and sent it to Leonard. Do you recognize this guy? He looks familiar. It took Leonard a while to respond. Isn't that your family's gardener? He's been around for years. Don't tell me you still don't remember him. Why are you sending me his picture? What's going on? My heart dropped. Why was my gardener meeting Peter in secret? No wonder Peter could sneak into my room so easily. He had someone on the inside. Someone who'd been planted years ago. But since when were they working together? A creeping chill ran down my spine. Could it be? The car crash 2 years ago? Was that his doing? Did he plot all of this, just for me to warm his bed for 2 years? I was so furious my hands itched. Just as I was about to go confront him, I heard rustling and breathy sounds from the forest. I parted the leaves and peeked through the brush. Julie. Julie was kissing another man like she was trying to swallow him whole. I nearly laughed out loud. Really? These two couldn't have picked a better place? I raised my phone to start taking pictures. But then, everything went dark. A warm hand covered my eyes from behind. And a familiar, cold blade pressed to the back of my neck. Easy now. Don't move. Peter. I ground my teeth. Your fiancé's off having a makeout session with someone else. Why are you blocking me? My fiancé's cheating, and you've been watching them for how long? He chuckled. Wait, don't tell me this is your thing, Brian? Yeah. I love it. I leaned into the blade, following its edge, and bit him, hard, right on the hand holding the knife. The blade nicked my neck, drawing a thin line of blood. Peter flinched and hurriedly pulled it away. Are you insane? You leaned into a knife. I snorted, like I wouldn't recognize that blade even if it turned to dust. It was the same sword, the one that had snapped in half, now repurposed as a dagger. What the hell was wrong with this man? Why was he so obsessed with using that damn sword on me? You've harmed me how many times now, and you have the nerve to say I'm the reckless one? His eyes turned cold. When have I ever hurt you? I held up the photo on my phone. Don't tell me this secret meeting with someone from my house in the dead of night is just a romantic rendezvous. Peter looked at the photo for a moment and then let out a soft laugh. Right, I'm the villain. What did I do? Leave you sore for 2 years straight? Or make sure you couldn't walk for a full week? You. I shoved the phone away and grabbed the dagger out of his hand with ease, flipping it to his throat. Can you talk like a human now? Or do I have to make myself louder? Peter, sure, you used me for 2 damn years. But so what? If you ever really try to hurt me, I'll never let you off the hook. Peter just stared at me, silent, amusement dancing in his eyes. I avoided his gaze, one hand still holding the dagger to his neck. With the other, I patted down his coat. Peter stiffened. I reached into his pocket and pulled out a thick envelope. Inside, there was a stack of photos. My photos. What the hell? From my childhood to now, from the scrawny little sickly boy to the man I'd become. You went through all this just for these? You got someone inside my house just for these photos? What are you doing, some kind of voodoo ritual? Peter sighed. Brian, ever heard of the phrase, looking at things to remember someone? I froze. Why would you want to remember me? Why do you think? Peter leaned into the blade, right up to my face, and kissed the wound on my neck. That soft, burning touch crawled up my spine. My hand holding the blade began to shake. His voice, deep and hypnotic, whispered against my skin. Because I fell into this abyss called Brian. And I can't climb out. His lips moved from the cut to the corner of my mouth. Why did you run? Why did you hide everything from me, Brian? Couldn't you give me even a little bit of your heart? He kissed me until I couldn't breathe, until my whole body trembled. I didn't, and ever. I always. But halfway through my sentence, a bitter, metallic taste flooded my mouth. Warm liquid dripped from the corner of my lips. I wiped it away and stared dumbly at the red smeared across my hand. Suddenly, the world tilted. My knees buckled. And just before I blacked out, I saw Peter's face turn ashen white for the first time. When I finally managed to open my eyes, Leonard was bawling and throwing himself at me. Boss, thank God. You're awake. I tried moving. Everything felt stiff and heavy. How long was I out? You were poisoned and rushed to the ER. You spent over a week in the ICU before they moved you here. I thought you were gonna. I shoved Leonard's sobbing face away with difficulty. Where's Peter? Oh, that Peter? He went nuts. He what? He straight up slaughtered his way through the Smith estate. Threw your brother and your grandfather in jail. What the hell did you just say? I shot up from the bed so fast it felt like my bones were about to fall apart. Peter tore down the Smith family while I was unconscious? That bastard. And he had the nerve to say he'd fallen for me? But all lies. That son of a, just wait till I get my hands on him. Boss, wait. The Smith family's still standing. It's just your grandfather and brother. They were the ones behind everything. We've got the evidence. What do you mean, my grandfather and brother poisoned me? Not just that. Your car crash 2 years ago, my car crash this year, and that ambush? All them. All of it? Since when were you suspicious? How'd you dig this up so fast? It wasn't me. It was Peter. He's been gathering evidence ever since he found you 2 years ago. Teamed up with the Scott family and took your grandfather down. I froze, the blood rushing to my head. So he knew. 2 years ago, he knew who I really was. Turns out, the one being played was me all along. Boss, Peter really did a lot. He barely slept when you were still in critical condition, kept watch by your bed for days. No one could get him to leave. You lied to him, he lied to you. Why not call it even? Even my ass. He had a fiancée. I should go get someone too. While I was scrolling through pictures of men and women who'd once flirted with me, Leonard burst into the room yelling like a madman. Boss, big news. The eldest daughter of the Scott family just dumped Peter. I didn't even look up at his ridiculous face. You think I don't have a phone? It's been all over my feed. Then why are you still looking through these? Peter's single now. You wouldn't understand, this is about dignity. Help me pick someone. I can't have it look like Peter's the only guy who'd have me. Let me see. We were huddled together when the door slammed open. Peter's icy voice cut through the room. What are you two whispering about? We were just saying boss is looking for a... what? Leonard finally realized who was standing there and yelped, falling flat on top of me. I gritted my teeth. Why are you so scared of him? Didn't you see the crazy look in his eyes just now? Peter's glare darkened. Are you two planning to grope each other all day? Leonard tried to get up, but I yanked him back. What's it to you? Peter's smile didn't reach his eyes. What do you mean? I squared my jaw. Leonard and I are together. Just letting you know. Leonard started sweating bullets. Boss, did the poison mess with your brain? Shut it. I slapped a hand over Leonard's mouth. Jackson, if you've got something to say it and leave. Peter's gaze was hard to read, but his voice was cool and even. No reason. Just thought a certain brat needed a lesson. So I came to give it. Leonard bolted from the room like a kicked puppy, and even had the nerve to close the door behind him. I clenched my fists. What do you want? Peter dropped the cold mask and pulled me into his arms. Still mad. Why would I be? I heard what you said. You're not unwanted. Far from it. I was afraid someone else would take you from me. Afraid you'd look down on me. As for Julie, she and I were strictly business. She has someone she likes. So do I. We used each other, that's all. I never told you because I wanted to know if I really meant anything to you. I grabbed his collar. You think I let you screw me for 2 years because you meant nothing? Peter looked vaguely wronged. I thought you were just using me to get intel on the Jacksons. Okay, not wrong. If I didn't care, why would I keep butting heads with you? If I didn't care, I wouldn't have bothered at all. Peter's hand slipped down to my waist, his tone laced with mischief. So you've liked me for a long time, huh? My mind flashed to the memory of him. Tall, commanding, untouchable in his fitted black shirt, long fingers tapping against a desk, closing deals with that cool smile of his. Deals I couldn't win no matter how hard I tried. No. I denied it shamelessly. What about Leonard? What the hell does he have to do with anything? You grew up together. Don't tell me you've got feelings for him too. Like hell I do. He's fine, okay? Loyal. Protective. Puts me first. Unlike someone. Peter laughed low in his throat. Careful, but think before you talk. I might just send that loyal puppy of yours to keep your grandpa and brother company. You wouldn't dare touch Leonard. Why wouldn't I? I used to wait for you to come closer on your own. But now, I've decided, if you won't come to me, I'll just get rid of everyone else around you. That way, you'll only have me. Brian, I've waited so long it's driving me insane. And when Peter goes crazy, it really shows. In the hospital room. In the car. In the villa. On the private beach. Even during official business meetings. I staggered into a banquet hall, barely able to walk straight. Shot a glare at Peter, who was chatting with potential partners like he didn't just wreck me an hour ago. Peter beamed when he saw me. Oh, Smith. Long time no see. I forced a smile. Jackson sure is clingy. You've got your hands in every project I want. The business rep between us was sweating buckets. Let's not fight, gentlemen. How about we talk things through? Peace is good for profit. Whispers filled the room. Looks like Brian and Peter are going at it openly now. Who's your money on? Brian's not the same guy he used to be. Now that the old guard of the Smith family is out, I'm betting on him. I dunno. Rumor has it Peter kept Brian locked up and played with him for 2 years. The one on the bottom always loses. I'm betting on Peter. I wanted to knock all their damn teeth out. Peter, unfazed, casually slipped an arm around my waist and smiled like a fox. This Smith doesn't mind. Would you do me the honor of sitting beside me? I'll pour you a drink as an apology. Fine. Sit? I'll damn well sit. You think I'm scared of you? The moment I took the seat, Peter's warm hand slid down my back, creeping lower. Why so tense, Smith? Afraid of me? I shivered. Stop flattering yourself. I'm not afraid of you. But I am. I'm afraid Smith is too good, so good I'll be ruined for life. As his hands grew increasingly unruly, I finally lost my patience. Gritting my teeth, I hissed under my breath. Get a grip. You're not here to go into heat. Peter only chuckled, lowering his gaze. Then he slipped something cold and metallic onto my finger. My heart skipped wildly. He looked at me with maddening calm. Smith, he drawled, why's your neck so red? Don't tell me you're tipsy after just one sip. The business partner frowned in concern. Smith, perhaps you'd prefer juice instead? I shut my eyes, forcing my pulse back down to earth. No need. I just need the restroom. Peter stood too. Perfect timing. I need to go as well. Excuse us. Whispers erupted behind us again. Here we go. They're about to throw hands again. All this over a deal? Do the bosses really have to get involved personally? If they were lovers, they'd act differently. No old flame meets like they're ready to brawl every time. The moment we entered the restroom, I shoved Peter into a stall and locked the door behind us. What's the meaning of this? A gift, he said. Do you like it? I don't. Couldn't you have picked a better time? Just doing it like this. My words were cut short by the press of his lips, stealing every breath, every protest from my mouth. You probably don't remember, he murmured against me, but it was exactly 5 years ago today when I first saw you. Back then, I swore I'd steal you away and chain you to my side. I struggled to breathe under his kiss. You were already eyeing me that early, and still spent all those years fighting with me? No choice. It was the only way to get your attention. You bastard. You've been hiding more than I have. I haven't even started settling that score. I'll wait, sweetheart. What did you just call me? You're wearing the ring I gave you, aren't you? That makes you my wife. Screw you. Who the hell is your wife? I bit down on him without mercy. He winced but didn't let go. Babe, why so hasty? Didn't we just start? Shut up. My hand, the one with the ring, clenched tightly around his. An identical ring glinted on his finger. Our hands trembled together. And it was in that trembling moment that I finally understood something. After today, there was no escaping him anymore. The end.
Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos.